washer. Oh,
What about 2-inch gap between two business cards? Discs are just slightly touching there to create that seed trench. And as they wear, we just check them. We can adjust by pulling little washers out of there to make them a little bit closer.
hang on a second. Down a little bit. I had the bush.
The last thing I want to do to the planter now is go through all these fertilizer knives we put on last year. I didn't clean these up enough after the season last year. There's still some fertilizer in some of these, so I want to make sure these are all open, that fertilizer's flowing through them. Try to drill this out. Well, I got that opened up pretty easily. It's the next day, back in the shop again. I'm gonna be able to finish this planter up today. 3 of the knives on the planter, there's a leak in this old yellow fertilizer tube. So I wanted to get these changed. Ended up destroying the metal protective sleeve for it there on a couple of them. So Dad just went and picked some of this up for us. It's a matter of getting this back together, getting these knives put on the end. I wanna make sure all the fertilizer lines are opened up. Might try to run some liquid through the tanks, through the pumps, and make sure everything's working. Normally when we pull the planter out in the spring, the first thing we're doing is making sure the lines are open and messing with that. It'll be nice if the planter's ready to go and I'll know that everything's good. Once we want to plant, we just throw seed in it and we can go out to the field. Got the door open again today. It is just beautiful outside. Seemed like the whole month of January was just cloudy. It's getting sort of depressing almost. Got this first one done. Just got 2 more rows to do, and then we'll check, see if water flows through it. So we run our nitrogen fertilizer through these 3 inches off the row. It's called the Conceal System. It's got this knife that runs up between the 1 gauge wheel. They actually set planters up with them on both sides of the row. We just put one side in. Used this for 1 year so far. Was happy with how it worked for the most part. I'm learning how to maintain them. Next year I'm going to do a better job. Hit them with some sort of rust stopper before the winter, that way things don't get so corroded like they did. I'm ready to pull this planter outside and try these fertilizer lines. Just oil in these chains. Just gonna add some water to 2 of these tanks, that way we can run these pumps a little bit. I think I can just spin them with the vice grip manually so I don't have to drive the planter, and then I can watch and see if fluid's coming out. Well, it looks like they're all working except for this one, but I think I can see why. Didn't even plug that in. You can see fluid coming out of every knife, so I know they're all opened up. Yeah, there's a couple that are leaking out of this top part. I got Dad to spin it so I could watch them closer, and they're all open, but 3 of them are leaking out at where that fertilizer hose meets the tip. I had them all apart and I tried to plug them in well, and they're still leaking. We'll push it back in the shop so I can lay on the ground and take them apart and try again. It's the next day. I want to get this planter finished up. Looks like all of the 2x2 fertilizer lines are working now. After we make sure everything's working, we'll get the marker arms put back on.
Now it's coming. It's coming. I just had to fill up the lockers. Oh, they're all good.
It's not leaking up there anymore. Everything is working. I got all the tanks drained out, tried to force the water out of the lines. Still gonna get some cold days. We don't want to have the ice damage it at all. We're not gonna get it in the shed right now. My dad wants to feed cows soon, and we're gonna have to get the marker arms put back on. We'll do that tomorrow. Just gonna park it in this bunker silo for now. There's a couple more machines we want to run through the shop. Next one I'm going to work at is our bedding skid steer. Needs cleaned out pretty bad. It's probably a lot of sawdust built up around the engine. So first thing I'm going to do is take this cover off the bottom, and I like to use water and just rinse it out, wash it all out. We bought this thing used over 10 years ago. It's been working great for us. We don't put a ton of hours on it, but we do fire it up a lot, pretty much every day. Do scraping and bedding with it, lots of dust. Once a year I like to clean up the inside really well, change the filters. Seems to do the trick to keep after it. Forgot a year or two ago we had some lines rust out in this area because we weren't taking this plate off and cleaning it out. I'm just gonna go get the impact. We'll take this off and I'm gonna lift the boom up so we can get inside and clean out better. I used to never clean these out and these metal lines rusted because they're just sitting in this bedding with some moisture in it. I pressure washed a lot of it, and I'm just going to use the nozzle to clean out around the engine a little bit better. It's not shooting back in my face and I'm not breaking some of these small pieces in here. I spent quite a bit of time just spraying water inside that engine and around the hydraulic hoses, getting all this bedding out of there. I'm satisfied with how clean it is now, so I'm going to get these shields back on the side. Change this oil filter first. I'm not going to change the inline fuel filter. We just change that whenever the engine starts sputtering a little bit. It's very important to have that there, but we just changed it recently. So now I'm going to change the water separator filter, fuel filter. Now this is the hydraulic oil filter. This one's always a little bit tough to reach. It's kind of a tight space there. I got oil back in it. Now I'm going to turn the key just one notch. That'll run the fuel pump, fill this filter up, and then we can fire it up. It is Friday morning now. You guys are gonna get a whole week of work in one video, at least the highlights. Didn't catch any milking, but I have been milking cows too. We're gonna get the marker arms back on this planter, get it put away. Everything's wrapped up except we don't have the seed boxes on because we didn't get those meters back. They're recalibrating those for us, but that's fine. It's nice to know everything else is working. It's ready for planting. It's nice to get some stuff actually finished, get it checked off the list. We need to move the manure spreader. See if you can sneak it in here without running into a tractor or something. You're good on this side, yeah. All right, that's good. There she is, ready to plant corn. Let's just give it a couple months. So we got an auction in our local town this week. Coming to check some equipment out today. What we're looking for is a forage box that we can use for our dry hay for the robot feeder. Put an electric motor on it that can just plug in, load it up with dry hay, and it'll conveyor it out nice and slow. Something like this is probably what we're looking for. We were thinking of Miller Pro. This is a Meyer, but we want to get one with augers on it rather than finger type that would get tangled up. So.
It's not gonna work it hard.
No, this is gonna be really easy work. Dry light feed, and we're gonna run it really slow, so it doesn't need to be anything spectacular. So yeah, both of those would probably work. Here's a merger. We ought to have one of these for a Triticale. A couple Miller Pros. These things are tall. We would have to take some of at least the racking off the top to get the skid loader over it.
5200.
These look a little longer, I think.
Yeah.
Some nice 7830. If I was gonna get a big tractor, I would be looking for something like this. This 30 series. We're selling skid loaders and excavating equipment today. You want to get a paver? Be nice to have one of these around.
Yeah, here we go.
I'd like to get a grading box for the driveways sometime. I'm sure this one's cheaper too. This one has the wooden frame.
Yeah, okay.
Like you see the other one there has
yeah, right.
steel.
This will bring less.
Just tear the roof off of it. Wonder what something like this would do on the Triticale stubble. There's a 7130. So we're gonna head home now. My dad will be back tomorrow. He's gonna try to buy one of those wagons. I'm not gonna be able to be here. All right, thanks for watching, guys. Hopefully next week we can go pick up that new wagon at the sale if my dad's able to win it tomorrow. That'll be it. See you guys.